Hey, yo, what's up? What's poppin'? We got some people up in the chat right now. How y'all doing? Welcome into the Thursday Night Football game. This is, in the last 40 years since the first Thursday Night Football game, this is the number one matchup of two teams heading into Week 8 winning percentage-wise. Obviously, only one loss here. Winning percentage is like 957, whatever it is. Whatever 13 divided by 14 is going to end up being. Let's do the quick math for all the people in the streets. 929. That is the highest winning percentage ever heading into Week 8 on a Thursday game. Ever, apparently. So, we're going to have a good time tonight. It's an interesting slate. It's familiar territory for the Packers. How many times? This is the third time now that they'll have to face the Arizona Cardinals without their top two receivers, without their top three in this specific matchup. Almost had to be without possibly their top 4 or 5, but Malik Taylor got cleared to play after missing last week with COVID. So, how y'all doing? Welcome into the show today. Fun day so far. It's feeling like fall in Texas for the first time, as it's only like 78, which actually somehow feels cold. I don't know why I woke up with sniffles. I don't know if it's allergy season. I can't be sick again. I was just sick like 2 weeks ago. So we'll see. I'm feeling like tired. What up, gang? So what's up, boss man? What's going on, everybody up in the chat? Sal here to help out pockets. Hey, we're hoping. The last time the Packers were on a showdown slate, we took down like 31 G's. Let's do it. That's a fire shirt. Man says Joker. Hey, thank you. Yo, Sal, I don't know if you got my response on Twitter, but can you look at the projections for Taylor versus Witters on the optimizer? The decimal is off on one of them. No, I didn't see anything on Twitter on the optimizer for Taylor, as in Malik Taylor. The decimal is off on one of them. Let me see. Let's see. Add this back in. Bada bing, bada bang to the optimizer. It should be all good now on the optimizer. Good, sir. I saw what you were talking about there. It had him at 3.8. Got it all good to go now in the optimizer. Perfect. Thank you for letting me know that, my man Cage Devil. Top prize picks with the Green Bay news. Yeah, I mean, the Green Bay news isn't, I don't know. I think a lot of people are overreacting to this news. The Devontae Adams news is the big news, right? Like, obviously, that moved the line 3 points. But there's a lot of things here. This is going to hurt the Packers. But I think a lot of people are overreacting to the Allen Lazard news specifically. I don't give a shit about Allen Lazard tonight. Neither do the Packers. Oh, he had one good game last week. Okay, great, right? Allen Lazard is not the difference maker for this team. So once Devontae Adams got ruled out, once their defensive coordinator and a lot of their defensive coaches, which not a lot of people seem to know that, are not playing today, or they're not playing, they're not out there today, that's why the line moved 3 points. Allen Lazard got ruled out. It didn't mean anything, right? The line didn't move at all. Allen Lazard does not separate. The biggest thing that Allen Lazard being out actually matters for is the run blocking game. And people roll their eyes. He's a wide receiver. No. He is arguably right there with Chris Godwin as the best run blocking wide receiver in the NFL. That's what it matters for. But they're already going to have a massive run blocking advantage. Then J.J. Watt gets ruled out, so even more of a run blocking advantage. So, yeah, I mean, this game has looked the same since the Devontae Adams news. This game has looked the same all week to me. It's the Packers are really going to struggle to keep up because they don't have a lot of weapons, but they have Aaron Rodgers and they have Aaron Jones. They're going to pound the ball. They're going to try and take away possessions as long as they possibly can with these 7, 8, 9 play drives. Like their opening drive last week was like a 10-play, 7-minute drive against the football team, right? They're going to have to try and do that this week. We'll see what happens. They don't have Jair. They don't have a defense. They don't have pass rushers tonight. We'll see if they get Preston back. I don't know if he's been ruled in or out yet. Yeah. I live in Tyler, Texas. Not too far. You ever heard of it? I've seen like this highway signs driving down here for it. That's about it. You definitely put the work in. Taking Cobb Captain, what do you think? What's going on, John Hainsey? I don't have any problem with Cobb Captain. I'm probably not playing it right now. Cobb or St. Brown today? I'll take Cobb over St. Brown. Yeah, I mean, Cobb's a fine play, but there's a very specific way where Cobb gets to being the captain. It's 1 to 2 touchdowns. But other guys don't need that, right? Hopkins can get there without multi-touchdowns or even a touchdown. Aaron Jones can get there without even scoring a touchdown. Kyler Murray, like those are the guys that I like more in the captain spot. I even like Chase Edmonds just because I think there'll be some leverage on Chase Edmonds, but he's not that great of a play. Like captain is pretty easy today, I guess you can say. I'm not fooling around with Malik Taylor captain spots, right? I'm not going to play bad plays in the captain spot. So Kyler Murray, DeAndre Hopkins, Aaron Jones, those guys look like by far and away the best captain options on the slate. Aaron Rodgers is up there as a leverage play. If you wanted to get to Randall Cobb, I don't think it's an atrocious play. I actually think Randall Cobb's in play as a captain option tonight. I'm just personally not playing him, because I think it's a very fine way, a very difficult way, I would say as well, that he has to get there. At $3,600, he doesn't need to do a lot, but you're on a slate with a lot of scoring, right? A high total slate, a lot of playmakers on this slate. So it's not like he can just score 14 and be the captain tonight. No, pure points are going to matter. Who scores more fantasy points, Ertz or Tonyan? I'll take Tonyan there. Do you like A.J. Dillon over 9.5 receiving yards? I don't like the number for either way. First time using the SuperDraft tonight. What are some of the top picks there, says Sean. Yeah, what's going on, Sean? So on SuperDraft, it's going to be interesting tonight because did they add in a Malik Taylor multiplier? I'm going to have to update that. Did they add in a Malik Taylor multiplier? And if they did, is it 3? Somebody let me know if they added it in. I'll pull it up right now on my end. I actually have it up. I don't know why I'm asking. I have it up in a different browser over here. So let's see. Let's see the Malik Taylor multiplier if they added it in. So Malik Taylor's been added as a 2.5x multiplier. That's not going to be enough to make him look that great. He'll be definitely in play, but not that great. And I assume they added in a St. Brown multiplier. Yes, they did at 2.55. So these are not great multipliers for these guys. So since those guys' multipliers are not that good, I'm probably going to be liking on SuperDraft same guys as the video that we did, the Showdown video for Thursday night that released last night. It's going to be guys like Aaron Jones, A.J. Green, Chase Edmonds, Randall Cobb. Those guys will look the best over there, factoring in multiplier and points. Sal, you ever play a cheap captain to fit in 4 top guys in the slate? Yeah, good question, Jared. That is not going to work out the far majority of the time. I think Cobb is decent tonight. I'm not playing him. The cheap captains rarely work for you because the cheap captains are cheap because they usually stink, don't have a target share, don't get a lot of touches, right? So they need to score points. Your captain needs to score points. On the far majority of the slate, your captain needs to score 20-plus fantasy points, right? And then with the multiplier, they get 30-plus in the captain spot. At least, right? It's not always the case on lower scoring slates and things like that. But for this game with over a 50 implied total with a lot of really productive players, your captain's probably going to have to score 20-plus fantasy points. I assume many of guys are going to score 15 to 20-plus today. We can probably count it maybe even on 2 hands, right, for this type of a game environment. So, yeah, I don't have a lot of interest. I don't have a lot of confidence in Cobb scoring 20-plus today because, I have him projected for 10, and his ceiling is going to be close to that. But, again, it's going to rely on, 2 touchdown games. Like Randall Cobb, I don't know if people remember this. I'm a Packers fan. I'm a big Randall Cobb fan. I have a Cobb jersey, but you have to try and be as non-biased as you possibly can here. Randall Cobb might not even be the best receiver on this team. I'm going to say that he is because of experience. But if you just drop these guys down on the planet today at the same exact time without all the experience, that's factored in, of course. So he's going to be the best receiver for the Packers on the field today. But the style in which he plays in right now, his ability to get separation, Malik Taylor is garbage, but took a big step forward over this past year. He's probably, in my opinion, the best overall talent on that team, especially when you factor in downfield usage. But when they look at when Matt LaFleur is going to look at his play sheet today and doesn't have MVS, Lazard, or Adams out there, he's going to look at it and go, okay, yeah, we can't win nonstop with Malik Taylor and Randall Cobb and St. Brown. We can't win with these fucking guys. So it's going to be a lot of Aaron Jones, a lot of A.J. Dillon, a lot of motion with Robert Tonyan and Mercedes Lewis and Joshua DeGuara and these play action passes and these interesting plays, right? It's not going to be Malik Taylor sees 8 targets. Very unlikely, right? Cobb can see 8, 6 catches, 50 yards type game, right? Do you trust Hopkins being banged up? Yeah, I got him in the captain spot. If he plays, I'm going to assume that he's fine. Sal just became a Patreon member. Love the optimizer in the community. I'm ready to make these $. Says Pat Hughes. Round of applause for Pat Hughes. Round of applause. Appreciate you coming on. MVS is out. Correct. Arizona gives up rushing yards 5 per carry. Most run can't. They have to play up, catch up 95% of the time. I don't know what that means. I understand what you're saying there. Yes. Yeah, Arizona's run defense is not that great. Correct. Amari Rodgers and Malik Taylor. Definitely Malik Taylor. I mean, Amari Rodgers, he'll be involved tonight because they'll need him, but this is not a good player. He's, of course, a rookie. He can, of course, mold into that. He's the backup to Randall Cobb. They're not going to have many sets tonight when they have Amari Rodgers and Randall Cobb on the field, unless they're using Amari Rodgers out of the backfield in these trick plays, which I wouldn't doubt, but probably not for that many snaps. So, yeah, Amari Rodgers, he was one of 3 active wide receivers when Devin Funchess got hurt in the preseason. They had Reggie Bellaton. They had Malik Taylor, who led the preseason in receiving for all teams, not just the Packers. And they had Amari Rodgers, their 3rd-round rookie out of Clemson, 4-year player there. He could not do anything in those games. Against 3rd and 4th stringers in the preseason, in the second half of games, he couldn't get any separation. So I don't have much trust in Amari Rodgers, right? Definitely prefer St. Brown and Taylor down there. Who should I put money on tonight to score a TD? The guy I like the most to score a TD is probably Aaron Jones, but he's going to have the lowest odds. 4 Packers, 2 Cardinals, fine. Yeah, any format's fine for me today. Nice shirt, brother. Thank you. Would you play Edmonds and Connor with each other? I think, no, I'm not really interested in playing too much Connor. Right now, I think I'll pull up my ownership percentages. I have 20% Connor, and I have like 43% Edmonds. So I think Zach Ertz is probably the worst play in the slate, and I think James Conner is probably the second worst play on the slate behind him. Connor has a 2-touchdown upside, which keeps him somewhat in play, but I'm not playing him in single entry 3 max. He's a really bad price point. Green or Edmonds today? I have more Edmonds, but flip a coin. I'll take Edmonds, though. Can you rank the Packers wide receivers tonight from most points to least? Yeah, Cobb, Taylor, St. Brown, drop off by a good amount to Amari Rodgers. Come on, Sal, top projection so I can roster him on FanDuel Captain, no extra cost. I don't know what that means. Lawrence Ross. I don't know what that means. Edmonds or Green? That's the word. What's the word? What's going on, Bossman? Shirt is popping. Thank you. Edwards or Green? Edmonds or Green? I'll take Edmonds, but it's very close. Dylan or Malik? I'll take Malik Taylor. Wanted to give you a big shout out and some credit for my first top 5 in multiple contests on Monday Night Showdown. Made a bunch of money. Thanks, bro. Hey, Matthew, all you, boss man. Nice work out there. Nice work in the streets. More Ertz today. More. Ertz versus anybody, the answer is going to be Ertz today. Or the answer is going to be the other guy today, not Ertz. I think when you factor in price point, Ertz is a terrible play today. I don't really see how you can even make an excuse for Ertz being a good play. Ertz scored a deep touchdown yesterday. He showed some yards after the catch potential. Okay. Last week. Yeah. The one time in the last 4 years, like that's what you're going to be paying $6,200 for Zach Ertz and his 4 targets today. Jeez. Like he's literally the 6th option in the receiving game when Chase Edmonds and the other receivers are out there, right? And now obviously it's not always going to be 4 receivers out there, so he's normally the 5th option in the receiving game. Any betting picks for tonight? Yeah, I have some props. That's about it. Sal didn't double running back Packers workout last year when Adams was out. One of the 4 games it worked out, so sure. Also, Jamal Williams was a Packers running back at that point. A better, more versatile pass-catching running back. I'm not going to rely on A.J. Green to catch 4 balls like Jamal Williams was doing in those games, right? Actually, I think in that game, Jamal Williams caught 6 balls. Or A.J. Dillon. I'm not going to rely on that. Any love for Dillon today? Some. Not a lot. Some. He'll be out there a good amount. He'll play 35% of the snaps. I have 11% A.J. Dillon. Green Bay has played a lot of 2 running back sets without Adams. Thoughts on Dillon tonight? Yeah, that's my stance on Dillon. I think he carries the ball 6 to 8 times. I think he sees 1 to 2 targets. I think he sees 7 touches, and more times than not, probably gets about 7 touches for 35, 40 yards, something like that. Sal, Falcons is a survivor pick this week. Not for me. I'm going to probably lean Cincinnati. Patreon and Discord are booming. Yeah, they're booming right now. We got like almost 1,100 people. It's been popping. It's been popping. Can we see the sheet background? Somebody asked about prize picks. Yeah, I mean, my prize picks have been the same. It's the exact same one. There's not a lot today. Like, I'm not taking a lot of props today. There's not much on the bone. I don't see a lot of good props. You would think that there'd be actually some nice value spots with a lot of guys in and out, but the lines are pretty proper. So the exact same one that I took on the video for prize picks, but now Alan Lazard is out, so it's the exact same one. I just added the under 18.5 receiving yards on Mercedes Lewis on a flex play. I'll see if there's anything else that I like we can pull up Underdog and check Underdog. I'll see if there's anything else, but overall, not really much is standing out tonight, to be completely honest with you. We'll see if there's any pick'em action on Underdog. Maybe we can get something on like an over-under. Yeah, I mean, you get over-under Aaron Jones rushing touchdowns. I'd rather this number be overall touchdowns because he's going to be even more involved in the red zone than normal. Oh, this number is fucking ridiculous. Amari Rodgers, 25.5 receiving yards. I mean, I might actually have to add some more stuff here. That is a very strong, maybe not very strong, but 25.5 is about 10 yards too much for Amari Rodgers. He's going to operate as the wide receiver 4 behind Tonyan, behind Aaron Jones today. I don't think he takes that many snaps. I think Amari Rodgers runs 10 routes today. So is he going to see 2 targets and make those 2 targets work as a slot receiver? So I like Amari Rodgers under 25.5 receiving yards. We're just going to have to find another option to pair that with. I wish we had a Malik Taylor prop here. We get a Mercedes Lewis 19.5. I already took the under 18.5, but we need a Cardinal to pair that up with. So 19.5 is actually the better under to be hitting up right there. We'll try and find a Cardinal. During this video, but I like that under on Amari Rodgers. There's a really good chance today Amari Rodgers sees 0 targets and 0 catches. I think Underdog, you need to see at least 1 target, which I really don't like if that's still the rule. If that's the case, I might contest that if we end up getting a 0 target game, even though he runs 10 routes. Like, if you run a route on offense, your prop should count. In the preseason, I don't think they were doing that. We'll see. Is there a way to edit the optimizer so it doesn't create lineups with both running backs? Yeah, you just put in a restriction rule in your rules. Just put in a restriction rule. Just say restrict these players. Or you can just make a group. Just say when you get this group, when Aaron Jones comes up, give me exactly one of him or exactly one of him or Jones. Like, you can just make a group of that if you wanted to. Or just a group. You don't even have to put Aaron Jones queued in. You can just say, when I get these 2 running backs, put them in a group, Aaron Jones and whatever, and only at most one of them. Are you playing the luxury box tonight? As of right now, no. Yeah, I mean, this is a fun slate. This is a fun slate. I got some prop action on it. I'll be playing DFS on it. Decent amount invested in DFS. But as a Packers fan, I don't need to have that much down, especially because the game's good. So I don't plan. Like, here's my stance on showdowns. There's usually some edge, and there's some edge tonight. There's some nice leverage. So there's usually some edge, so you play it outside of props like DFS. My stance on showdowns are they stink compared to the main slates, but we get them a couple nights a week, and there's big prize pools, and there's enough leverage, in my opinion, in the smaller field stuff. If you're trying to play, I assume there's a big milli maker today, right? If you're trying to play a big milli maker, there's no edge, right? You're just doing it for shits and giggles. So outside of the small field stuff, that's about all I'll really play on showdowns. But now I'm a Packers fan. With the Packers playing with a really good game environment, I don't feel the need to get a whole lot of action down. Like, normally on showdowns, I'll play like $3 to $5 grand in total. I think today I'm playing like, with props included, probably $1,000. Without props in DFS, I'm probably just playing like 500 on DraftKings. I just don't, right now, I just don't need to play more. I'm not playing the luxury box right now. I don't have like, if this was a good game environment and it wasn't the Packers and I wanted like an extra oomph to want to watch, I might play the luxury box. But for right now, like, I'm seeing some ways to leverage it. Like, if I was playing the luxury box, I'd probably either go Kyler or Aaron Jones. And Aaron Jones, I do think leverages you a little bit. Aaron Rodgers is going to be a great leverage play overall today. Not the best leverage play on the slate, but definitely one of the top leverage plays on the slate today will be Aaron Rodgers. What's good, fella? What's going on, DFS Guru? Jones and Dillon for a showdown. I wouldn't do it in single entry or in like one lineup. Is Cobb and Flex a good play? Yes. What does Edmonds' ownership look like tonight? I have Edmonds' ownership coming in at 35%. So if you're asking me, like, what is that like compared to in terms of Edmonds? I would say that Edmonds is probably going to be slightly under-owned today. Can we see your updated interest with Lazard out? Yeah, I mean, very similar stuff. These are the other receivers. Very similar stuff. Calling it now, Malik Taylor in the winning lineup. Yeah, I would expect Malik Taylor to have a decent shot to be in the winning lineup. Yeah, I would take Malik Taylor over St. Brown in the winning lineup. Now, it's not like Malik Taylor's odds of being in the winning lineup are 50%. They're still below 20%. He's still Malik Taylor, right? He's still Malik Taylor. He's still not a great separator. He's coming off of COVID. I don't expect the receivers to be that involved tonight. I expect Cobb to be involved mainly on third downs and in the red zone. I'm not expecting Cobb to see this 10-catch, 100-yard game, like vintage Cobb from 5 years ago, right? 6 years ago, really. What's up, Sal? Best SuperDraft plays tonight? Yeah, Aaron Jones, Edmonds, AJ Green, Randall Cobb. Those guys look pretty solid on SuperDraft tonight. I'll be mixing and matching captains of those guys. At 140K on Monday for Showdown and Kamara captain. Like you said, a lot of value in Showdown in my opinion. I'm not too sure what that means. Yeah, I mean, Kamara and captain was the only good captain option on Monday night. It was him and like DK Metcalf to an extent. That was about it. Kamara was a clear-cut, obvious play on that slate. A lot of value in Showdown. I don't understand what that means, I guess, specifically. Like, value plays, yes. Value in playing it is up to the specific person. Act like if the word you're looking for is an edge, no, there's no real edge in showdowns, like at all. You'll get leverage plays. You'll get about, if you're lucky, 3 to 5 leverage plays on a slate, right? But it's still a showdown slate. You still have to hit every single proper optimal play. It's like MMA slates, right? MMA, you have to hit all 6 of the proper plays. Sometimes you don't have to, but most of the time, if you want to win an MMA slate, right, well, we'll get some nice cards these next couple weeks on MMA. All the tools on Patreon. If you want to win one of those, you basically have to hit a 6-way parlay. You have to hit all 6 of the fights that get right. On this, it's even more difficult because there's more options to choose from on a showdown slate that can fit in. Why Malik Taylor? I mean, if you're just looking at size-wise, you have Amari Rodgers and Randall Cobb. Those are slot receivers. Amari Rodgers is going to be a backup. You have Equanimeous St. Brown, who is this close to being cut and probably out of the NFL. I mean, Equanimeous St. Brown is a very bad football player. I don't know if anybody has ever watched him. He is a raw product still, even though it's been 4 or 5 years. He is undersized. He's been cut by the Packers twice already. Like, they just need a body. Malik Taylor, the only reason why Malik Taylor didn't play last week was because of COVID. I don't even like Malik Taylor. Like, they had this guy, Darius Shepard, last year. They cut him because he stunk. Malik Taylor is the only guy who's actually shown some sort of development out of that Darius Shepard, Equanimeous St. Brown, Malik Taylor, like, tiers when they drafted those types of players and signed them. So Malik Taylor, Do I like him? No. Is he $200 today and going to see 3 to 5 targets? Yeah. Is he the biggest size player for downfield usage? Yeah. Out of all these receivers for the Packers, Malik Taylor is the only one who can actually go downfield and win at somewhat of a consistent basis. Tonyan or Cobb tonight? I'll take Cobb. We can actually play Rodgers tonight, somebody says. Yeah. Sal, what is your best piece of advice for tonight's lineup? Don't get cute at captain. People are going to try and play Malik Taylor in the captain spot. They're going to try and play these terrible plays in the captain spot. It's like an Aaron Jones, Kyler Murray, maybe Randall Cobb, but Aaron Jones, Kyler Murray basically looked the best. A little bit of Edmonds, some Hopkins. Sal, considering you're a Packers fan, do you think they should fire the GM to keep Rodgers and give him more access to ownership of the team, like drafting and trading? No. Aaron Rodgers is a football player. The general manager is a general manager. I don't know a worse precedent you can set than firing a general manager so a football player can be the general manager. That's a terrible idea, right? He doesn't want ownership of the team for trades and drafts. He just wanted input. Now he has that input. I mean, based on these weekly check-ins on the Pat McAfee show, I don't think Aaron Rodgers is going anywhere. I think a lot of people are automatically assuming that he's leaving. Maybe he'll go to Pittsburgh. Maybe he'll go somewhere like that. But based on the discussions that he is having on these Pat McAfee shows about how he has never felt better to be a Packer, never felt better to be in Green Bay, the spirituality journey that he is on, I would put money that he's not leaving. Hey, Sal, have you ever solo won a showdown very hard? No, the most I've won on a showdown is $30,000 that we won a month and a half ago on the Packers. But I also don't play these big contests. If you're asking solo won any contest, yeah. But I'm playing in some contests that have 200 people. Like, I'm sure you're asking about the Millie Maker. I don't play in the Millie Maker. I'm sure you're asking about, like, what's some other big contests. I'll pull up DraftKings. Like, a $3 big contest, I don't play in any of those. I don't have any interest in playing in any of those. Those are, like parlays or money makers for sports books. Whoever is tonight is playing in the... If you're playing 150 lineups, it's a different story, by the way. But if you're playing a handful of lineups, one lineup in the Millie Maker with 133,000 people, the worst contest is not even the Millie Maker tonight. It's this $3 play action, 495,000 people. That's clearly not going to fill. Is that tonight or is that's Sunday slate, isn't it? Yeah, but even then, they have another $3, 158,000 people. A $1, 148,000 people. I mean, come on. These are the money makers for DraftKings. These are the reasons why the rate that they're charging in there. These are the money makers, right? Hey, Sal, Jones or Murray for a small field single entry captain? Yeah, that's the question that a lot of people want to know. I would just say one of them two. I really don't have a lean right now. I would say that Kyler is going to be the optimal captain probably more times than not tonight, just because of how much of a ceiling that he has. But I think that Jones will be under-owned. So, yeah, Kyler looks like the better captain play for optimal standpoints, but it depends what else you can get in that lineup. What are your thoughts on Dillon versus Taylor with Jones as a captain? I'll take Taylor. Zach Ertz tonight or Tonyan? Who is this DeGuire dude? They drafted him in the Jordan Love draft. He blew out his ACL or something. He missed all of last year. They use him as a fullback. He's a tight end, but they use him as like a fullback. Do you think Aaron Jones will even score? Yeah, I think over a half a touchdown in this game makes sense for Jones. I got first with one lineup in a Millie Maker last year, and it was only $5K. Brutal. What should we play on DraftKings then? And small field, single entry, and 3-max. You should be aiming to play small field, single entry, and 3-max contests because these. I mean, if you're playing in a contest that has 150,000 people tonight, do you know how many people that is? If you were playing in a contest with 100 people, you'd have a 1% chance to win. 1% is a very low chance. When they tell you got a 1% chance of dying if you skydive, right? It's obviously way lower than that. Not 1 in 100 people die, but a 1% chance of this happening, right? People laugh at it and then say, I'll take my 99% chance. I'm fine, right? 1% chance in 1 of 100 people in a contest. You're playing in 150,000, not even 1,000, not even 10,000, not even 100. You're never going to win. You're never going to win. Never. And then there's people that say, but my friend won. All right. 1 in 150,000. And each slate, it's a reset. It's not like, oh, okay, I didn't get it last time, so now this time it's like a 1 in 140. No, every slate's the same exact thing. You have the same exact odds when you play in those contests. So, yes, ideally you should be playing in small field, single entry, 3-max. Sal with the Wicked Shirt, what's going on? Is Greg Jennings at captain too cute? Yeah, definitely. Green or Hopkins today? I'll take Hopkins. Favorite SuperDraft play? Sal, yeah, Aaron Jones, Edmonds, AJ Green, and Randall Cobb. Last spot, Amari Rogers, Malik Taylor, or Kylan Hill says Samuel, $2 super chat. I appreciate the super chat. I'll go with Amari Rogers. Or no. I'll go with Malik Taylor. Malik Taylor. He's like the one that I actually think steps on the field. Are we playing Edmonds today? Yeah, I think Edmonds is a good play today. I think he's a really good time. Leaving a nice 5K on the table. Hey, who's getting the red zone use, Connor or Edmonds? I mean, it's going to be a lot more Connor for goal line use. They're both seeing red zone touches, but it's going to be a lot more Connor for goal line use. I mean, CP, you just got to shut the fuck up. He says, what are the prize picks with like 30 fucking times? That man banned. See ya. Wouldn't want to be ya. Inside of 5 touches, really? Edmonds or Connor? It's going to be Connor. It's going to be Connor. I mean, he's priced for it, right? Let's see. I'll give you the exact numbers. Connor so far this year has 5 goal line touches and 10 touches in the red zone. AJ Green's turn to go off. Yeah, I mean, I think he's a fair price. I won 3 times Showdown last year, so not true. You can win. All right, Dorian. Sounds good. It seems like we're relying on a very small sample size here, aren't we? One person. I mean, if everybody wins every single time you play, if everybody profits in Showdown, then I guess everybody in this chat's profiting in Showdown, right? I'm trying to give people good advice. Dorian comes in and says he won 3 times last year. Obviously, there is that 1 in 150,000 people. And by the way, when it's actually like 1,000 people and you're winning 5, like somebody said they won $5,000 for winning the Millie Maker, you literally couldn't put your money into a worse contest. If you put a lineup into a contest and you know if that lineup wins, you're winning $5,000 and your odds of winning it should be nowhere near that. You should be getting paid out millions of dollars. Not one, but millions. Yeah, I mean, you make those decisions not only in DFS. Well, DFS, you're going to lose your bankroll, but you make those decisions in life long term, and you're going to live a very, very, very unfortunate life. Can we play Rodgers in kicker or defense spot? Yes, of course. If you're a patron, of course. How do you feel about Rondell? Yeah, meh. I mean, a little bit overpriced today. Fine, but a little bit overpriced. You see a big difference between AJ Green and Kirk tonight in lineups? No. I mean, it's just mainly a price point thing. If you're $400 price sensitive. Go Pack, go. Yeah. Would you consider playing both Packers running backs on SuperDraft tonight? I don't think A.J. Dillon looks that good on SuperDraft. He doesn't even have that great of a multiplier, so not really. I've never lost to the Showdown. If you have fun, you can't lose. Facts. Aaron Jones and the rest of all the Cardinals, is that a good play? Yeah, Onslaught. I think that can play out tonight. Taylor or Dillon? I'll take Taylor. I'll take Taylor. Is it bad if I buy the Patreon version without the optimizer? It's up to you, my man. The optimizer is definitely, I mean, if you're building 20 to 150 lineups, you're going to need an optimizer. If you want that one, go for it. If you're only building 1 to 5 lineups, you don't need an optimizer. So I just want to let you know, I won $180 DraftKings because of your amazing, beautiful insight. Thanks, Robert. Thanks, boss man. That's all you, though. I may have missed it, but what are you doing with Mercedes Lewis tonight? I'm not playing him. I like Mercedes Lewis under 18.5 receiving yards on Prize Picks. And then we saw on Underdog that he's under 19.5. So let's pull this up. We need a Cardinals play here, Cardinals play here. I like Mercedes Lewis under over here. I like the under on Amari Rogers receiving yards. All these Cardinals props don't look good, though. I mean, Zach Ertz 30.5. That doesn't look good. I wish there was a Rondell Moore rushing prop. I mean, we can kind of pair it up with something from one of these other games, of course, and just wait till Sunday. 22.5 receiving yards for Chase Edmonds. That looks okay. I mean, that would be the play, the Chase Edmonds. You do something like this, a little 50 to win 300. The under on Amari Rogers on Underdog. The under 19.5 receiving yards on Lewis, and the over 22.5 receiving yards on Edmonds. I think that's something that looks appealing. Looks so appealing enough that we might just quickly fucking take it. So there you go. Hey, there's a community prop on the live stream. How about that? A couple of unders on some shitty players for the Packers. Although Mercedes Lewis, I don't want to say he's shitty. I mean, he's a great captain, one of the best pieces in that locker room, if not the best piece for the Packers. Obviously, a big piece of the run blocking. Like the video if you haven't yet. It takes 2 seconds. It takes 2 seconds, says Cody M. I appreciate that, Cody M. Appreciate you, boss man. I need some food tonight. What am I eating tonight? Am I going to eat a Pokeball? Am I going to eat some kava? What are we getting? None of that junk food. We don't want no pizza, wings, and none of that shit. Need some good foods. Oof. Sal, you ever been to Italy? I have not. Now that I'm out of college and now that I actually have money to go to Italy, once it is not a shithole and like not destroyed by COVID and everybody dead in the streets and just an absolute shithole and dangerous, I'll go. What's the Halloween costume this year going to be? Yeah, I don't know. I like people who put a lot of effort into their Halloween costumes. Like, I really do respect that, and I like that a lot. I wish that I had like the urge to want to do that. Maybe if there's like a specific costume or like person I wanted to embody, I would. I'm just going Superman. Superman t-shirt with the cape that Velcro's on. I'll wear some tight black spandex shorts, and some like all whites socks and shoes, something like that. Very basic. Just need something to go to the clubs with and dance a little. Grilled salmon and broccoli. I actually got some salmon in the freezer. I ain't trying to cook though. Fellow Salvatore in the chat. What's up, boss man? I wasn't paying attention, and I heard Lewis is a good captain and was like, what the fuck is Sal talking about? Didn't realize you meant in the locker room. Yeah. I mean, Mercedes Lewis is a captain for the team. Like, Mercedes Lewis is a captain for the Packers. He is like the most well-respected guy in the locker room. Like, they brought him back literally for that reason, on a 1-year deal. I think Aaron Rodgers would have fucking left. I use Fantasy Labs for projections. How do you feel about their projections? I don't know anything about their projections. I make my own projections personally. I don't know anything about anybody else's projections. Imagine watching DFS Help stream, but you've already won 3 times Millie Maker, somebody says. Right. Sal, Arizona's defense is number 1 against tight ends. Yeah, I don't care about that stuff, to be honest with you, my man Sean. Does Tonian work out wider in the slot? Don't watch Packers game much. I mean, he works in the slot. He works off the line more so, off the line and in the slot. I don't care about the tight ends versus defense. None of that shit matters to me. Or defense versus tight end. I don't care about that. It's good to look at to get maybe some sort of perspective, but Arizona's played 7 teams so far. How many of those teams that they've played have had really good tight ends? Like, they played fucking Tyler Higbee. Like, who have they played, right? Who have they played that make you go, oh, shit, they shut down. And it's going to be the same thing for the tight end position everywhere. It's random. Like, whoever scores the random touchdowns against the defense, which is not saying that you're actually good against the tight end, it's random. So for tight end, it doesn't really matter for me. Kyler or Stafford? Kyler every single week. Thoughts on double QB in small fields? I think it's fine. I think Aaron Rodgers will be giving you a good amount of leverage tonight. Because of his price point, Aaron Rodgers will not be as highly owned as he should be, whereas I believe that Aaron Rodgers being under-owned on this slate tonight is a mistake. Yeah, I do think that Aaron Rodgers being under-owned tonight on this slate is a mistake, especially if he's throwing 40-plus times. You should get on Hammer Dan with Pat and the boys for DFS picks. I don't know who Hammer Dan is, or Don. I don't know who that is. But I assume Pat's boys for DFS. Is that Mayo, McAfee? I'm not too sure. Sal, what's your stance on NFTs? Yeah, we're not going down this hole again. Sal, cheapest Halloween costume. Tie a small rocket to your head. When people ask what you are, say, I'm the thing under the rocket. Man, I don't know what the fuck you're going for there, Sean. Thanks as always, Sal. Kyler captain, A-Rod, or Hopkins, single entry. Out of those 3, I'll go Kyler. Cobb and season long over Pittman? Definitely not. How much Aaron Jones are you getting? Thanks, Sal. Yeah, Aaron Jones I am getting... currently, I'm getting Aaron Jones in 71% of my lineups. So a good deal of Aaron Jones, that is for sure today. 71% of my lineups currently I'm getting Aaron Jones in. So whole lot of Jones today. Whole lot of Jones. You aren't completely lying about trying to make money in the Millie Maker, but I almost won it last when it was 20 entry max with 2 lineups. The Millie Maker, yeah. Look, like I really don't care about the near misses. I'm just talking about odds. Like, people think that, like, at the end of the day, your odds of winning the contest tonight that has 1 in 100, let me do the odds right here for you, percentage-wise. 1 divided by 150,000 people times 100 for percentages. Your percentage chance, and this is probably not going to come up good, your percentage, this is a percentage, 0.000666667. So not 0.1%, not 0.01%, not 0.001%, 0.0006%. That's your percentage chance of winning tonight, right? So that is the number that I care more about. That's not even factoring in the fact that a lot of people are going to have 150 lineups in those types of contests to many people watching this, maybe only 1 to 10, right? So that's the only number I care about, that those are the odds. You can't dispute those odds. It's as simple as that. But whenever somebody like enters the contest, they think like, oh, I actually have a chance of winning this. Your odds are never in your favor in DFS, unless you're playing a head-to-head and you think you have the better skill set. Then your odds can be in your favor. But they're never in your favor. Even in the small field contest that I play in, I'm one of 250 people in there. I have a less than a 0.5% chance of winning, right? You know that going in. You're trying to maximize the amount of times you finish top 10% as often as you can. It is much harder to do that when you have to face 150,000 people. Sal, how did you like Raleigh? I thought Raleigh was a nice area to live in. Definitely probably more of a place to settle down as of right now, but it's probably going to grow into something bigger. Is it necessary to play Rodgers with Jones and the captain? No. PrizePicks just updated some of their over-unders. Do you like any? Yeah, I'll probably look at them after the stream. I assume they didn't update them that dramatically, so probably not. Unless you're saying they added some over-unders. I'm looking right now. But I assume they did not update anything. Like Aaron Jones' fantasy points came up. That's not good for people who wanted to play. Edmonds went from 10 to 11. So, yeah, I mean, if anything, they got worse. If anything, they got worse for people trying to actually lay bets down on these. Yeah, I mean, Aaron Jones' receptions are at fucking 5. You got to win that bet to get 6. Jesus. Sal, which DraftKings story do you suggest a casual player like me, 1 or 2 20s per Sunday, $12 entry where I can avoid getting schmacked? Single entry and 3 max as small as the field as you can possibly find. How do you make your own prediction? What do you use to get that? How do you make my own projections? Yeah, it's get into coding, get into understanding databases. You can probably YouTube some videos to get you the basics, but then you're going to need to understand APIs and coding and databases and the other 12 to 15 variables that go into a projection. Does that shirt itch? Because it sure as hell did when I threw it away, somebody says. Man, what a bad take by Bruce Johnson in the chat. Hate to see that for him. With Packers depleted, would you take Cards defense? Now, I'm not interested in the defenses tonight. DeAndre Hopkins or Rodgers tonight? If I had to choose between DeAndre Hopkins and Rodgers tonight, I would say that Rodgers is your safer play. Hopkins is clearly the higher ceiling. I would say that Rodgers is the better play, factoring in ownership and his leverage. I'm afraid Aaron Rodgers trying rushing and gets hurt. Alrighty. So you're also afraid for Aaron Jones, Edmonds, James Conner, Kyler Murray, and all them. I drafted Kyler Murray, Allen Robinson, Myles Gaskin, and Miles Sanders. They were all underperforming to what I expected. Brutal. I mean, Kyler's been fine. The problem with Kyler is he's not running as much. I think this shoulder injury that popped up about 2 or 3 weeks ago is maybe more of a concern than they're letting on. It's a similar shoulder injury, not the same one, but a similar one to what he had last year. And he stopped running last year, and that's what he's doing this year. Is 30% Tonyan too much? No, I think that's fine. I think that's fine for this type of a slate. I think that's fine. What's up, Wow? What's up, Sal? We putting Rodgers in all the lineups today. I'm not playing Rodgers captain, so I only got about 50% Rodgers. Hey, Sal, had an ice cream scoop in emergency. Ice cream scoop in emergency. Uh-oh. Where's the rushing upside from Kyler been this year? The shoulder is a concern. I mean, I don't know if people just don't know this. Kyler Murray is dealing with the shoulder injury that he sustained about 2 or 3 weeks ago. He popped up on the injury report the last 2 weeks with the shoulder injury, and since then he just magically stopped running, right? Murray or Aaron Jones captain? I will go with the 2,000 Pearson single entry. Yeah, I mean, flip the coin. I would say Aaron Jones has a higher mega ceiling. Kyler Murray is going to get you there more times than not. So you gotta if you want to play the percentages, I'd say Kyler Murray with all this value in the captain spot makes a lot of sense tonight. Sal, who are your full fades tonight? I'm not really interested in Zach Ertz or Connor or the defenses. Knowing what the guy got, the 6,000 TD, you keeping it or giving it back? 600th TD? He got a Bitcoin and like some tickets to the Bucs game. I mean, I would have immediately just given it to Brady. I wouldn't have tried and hold the ball hostage. I think that's I think that's a pretty square thing to do. Maybe it's sharp. I think you're kind of a dick if like some dude's career ball you're gonna like hold and be like, yeah, and then start negotiating for what you deserve from it. Like maybe some people think that's savvy. I just think it's a little slimy. Kyler's accuracy has been all over the place the last few weeks. Yeah, blame the shoulder. Do you have a stance on the spread / total? I do not. Tunyon or Cobb? I'll take Cobb. Kyler, Cobb, Jones, best SuperDraft plays. I'm not as interested in Kyler. I mean, Kyler's fine on SuperDraft, but the 1x multiplier doesn't make it that great. Cobb looks good. Jones looks good. Yeah. A couple others that I really like over there. First time with the optimizer. Pick top score. Look for under-owned big upside. Both. You want leverage plays? That's one. So that's the under-owned big upside that you were talking about. Yeah, leverage plays plus top possible score. Cobb or Tonyan? Cobb. Rondell or Prater? Give me Rondell. I definitely want players over kickers and defenses on this slate. There's just so many other players. It's very hard for a kicker or defense to be in the... Maybe not a kicker if somebody gets to 12, a couple 50-yard field goals. But it's difficult for these defenses. And also, I'll just say the kicker is difficult for them to beat all of these position players when there's so many of them now. Peyton Manning said to hold it and giving it was an amateur move. The 600 to the ball. Said to hold it and giving it was an amateur move. I don't know what that means. Slimy, but for normal folks, even 100K is life-changing money. Of course. Yeah, I mean, any amount of money is life-changing. I'm not saying anything about the amount of money this man received or the fact that he got Bucks tickets. I just think you're a slimy person if, like, you're leveraging just because you were sitting in the front row and Mike Evans hands a ball to you, you're leveraging that as if, like, you're, like, the proud owner and deserving of this ball. Sal, can you put your top? Can you list your top captains? Yeah, Kyler Murray, Aaron Jones, no order, but Kyler Murray, Aaron Jones, Hopkins. If you're not worried about the injury, that comes up to your risk preference. And I think Edmonds is an interesting captain, not nearly as highly interesting, but definitely interesting. Thoughts on Juwann Winfree? I mean, we'll find out if Winfrey's even active tonight. I think he's going to operate as the wide receiver 5, so I would say probably, unless there's some other things that happen, I don't think you're going to see a lot of that tonight. Yeah, I think you're going to see a lot of Cobb, St. Brown, and Malik Taylor. A little bit of Amari Rodgers sprinkled in. I don't even know if Juwann Winfree has been elevated. Let's see these roster moves. Let's see if he's been elevated. Juwann Winfree elevated for game day. So Juwann Winfree should be elevated today. He'll operate as the wide receiver 5 for the Packers. Maybe he runs a couple of routes. Yeah, I'm not thinking that he's going to play that much. He's clearly going to be the wide receiver 5 tonight. And most weeks that's Amari Rodgers doing nothing at all. Kyle Crane. Kind of a dick. Dude, you are so out of touch with reality. Love your content, but get off your high horse, my man. Man, Kyle Crane. What a brutal stance from you. Me saying that Tom Brady, deserving of this football that he just threw for his 600th touchdown, deserving of this nice moment to have, and some random stranger in the stands thinking that they are entitled to that ball, that's me being a dick. Sounds good. Any significance in Aaron Rodgers complimenting St. Brown? I think that he looks for him. Yeah, I think that he's tonight, out of all these receivers that are going to be out there, he's going to trust Cobb, St. Brown, and Malik Taylor. I think he trusts Cobb obviously the most, and then St. Brown and Malik Taylor about similar amounts. Yeah, but yeah, he's complimenting St. Brown. He obviously St. Brown had an amazing touchdown catch that was not ruled a touchdown catch. How many lineups in contests do you usually do? On these showdown slates, I'll play whatever like the cheapest 150 max is sometimes depending on how many people are in it. 20 maxes, but for the most part, I'm very heavy into single entries and 3 max. So 80% of what I'm playing tonight will be in single entries. Sal, those flowers, gears, or bolts on the shirt? Yeah, I honestly don't even know. It almost looks like little explosions, but I'm looking as close as I possibly can on it. I have no idea. Thoughts on Juwann Winfree being activated from the practice squad? Says Samuel, the $5 super chat. I appreciate the super chat. Yeah, I think he'll be operated as a wide receiver 5. Yeah, wide receiver 5. Maybe he runs ahead of Amari Rodgers, but wide receiver 5. I think he's decent sized. The problem is just experience, right? So he'll be out there. 10 snaps maybe, runs 5 routes, somewhere around there. Please explain your Malik Taylor stance. He's going to be in 3 wide receiver sets tonight. He's going to be in 2 wide receiver sets tonight. He'll probably run 20 routes, maybe 25, depending on how many dropbacks, and he's $200. So he's going to see 3 to 5 targets. He is the second most experienced wide receiver on this team right now, which is crazy to say that. Yeah, I mean, that's as simple as that. Like, I don't think people know who Malik Taylor is, because you probably shouldn't. He was on this team last year, and he was a very raw product, but they trusted him in big situations when they dealt with injuries, and they didn't have Randall Cobb or Amari Rodgers as well. So they trusted him last year. Then he comes out in the preseason and he looks fantastic. Like, he was a very good player in the preseason, led the entire preseason in receiving. The only reason he wasn't active last week was because he was on the COVID list. It wasn't because he was a healthy scratch. He's been in the games this year running routes as the wide receiver 4 when he's actually healthy and out there. Biggest game of Cobb's career? Definitely not. No. It's all perspective. What are we looking at in the captain spot to finish top 5? 25 plus points at least with the multiplier. In the captain spot to finish top 5? What do you mean there, Noel? Thoughts on the pack? May go more 2 tight end sets. Lewis worth a look. Yeah, if they go more 2 tight end sets, I don't even think it'll be Lewis. Lewis is very strictly a run blocker for them. There's a reason why he's only really catching passes when no one's around them in these very deceptive play action games. He's not going to be like a drop back tight end runs routes. He is very strictly, he's on the line, he blocks, and 2 or 3 times a game he runs out for a play action pass. That's about it. Juwann to win, his name is the question we all have. Edmonds or Green? I'll take Edmonds. So how do you think Rodgers goes to Tony on a lot more or Cobb more? I think both are going to benefit. Both are going to benefit on Cobb's going to benefit more on third downs. I think Tonyan benefits the most in the red zone, and so does Aaron Jones. Single entry, Murray or Jones in the captain spot. Yeah, my man Brandon Hodge, I don't have the answer to that for you right now. I'll be choosing between those two players for my captain spot. I don't have the answer for you right now. That pumpkin's looking thick as fuck today. Yeah, it really is. It's getting rotten as shit, too. It's getting rotten as shit. We get the Packers little helmet here for good luck. Good luck charm right here. Doesn't fit the head anymore. It did when I was a fucking embryo or whatever you call it one day. Tony and Cobb and Jones too much with no Rodgers. Cobb's cheap enough to the point where I think that can work out. Obviously, Jones can get in on the ground, so I'll say no. What do we got? What's the average amount you're leaving on the table? So what is the average amount you are leaving on the table? I don't know the average amount, but $700 or more in every larger field contest, $500 or more in smaller field. How do you feel about Robert Tonyan today? I think I got 30% Tonyan, so I feel okay about Robert Tonyan. 29% Robert Tonyan. Ryan Houston says, Sal, you're well off. You have a You have a 1 in 100,000 shot at dying while skydiving, and I do have a bookie for it. 11 pays out $1 million. Still praying for hitting. My wife's skydiving tomorrow. Should be rich after that. Yikes. Jesus Christ, man. Tonyan and more. I'll take Tonyan. Any A.J. Dillon, I have 11%. Malik Taylor and St. Brown in the same lineup. I think you're getting too cute there. To be honest with you. I mean, you would have to be going Kyler, captain, and then all the other expensive guys. Yeah. Love the helmet, Sal. Go Pack, go. Go Pack, go. Taylor in the captain spot, not for me. Taylor or Dillon, I'll take Taylor. Love the content. Always going to have haters. Just keep being you. Thanks, Brock. Rank Cardinals receivers. Cardinals receivers for me are going to be 1, Hopkins, 2, A.J. Green, 3, Rondell Moore, 4, Christian Kirk when you factor in price. Who do you like a captain? Thanks for your work. Just join your Patreon. Hey, Bullish, welcome in. I like Kyler, Murray, Aaron Jones, DeAndre Hopkins, and then Edmonds and Cobb are fine as well. I'm just not as much there. I do have some Edmonds. I don't have any Cobb right now. I think Cobb is fine. There's just you need like a Cobb 6-catch, 90-yard touchdown game. And then you're even then sweating that Kyler or Jones isn't going for 30+. Mike Williams or Adam Thielen? All right, yeah, we're not going to answer the season-long questions right now. That's like the last thing that my mind's thinking about. We got days away. Till that shit starts. Days away. Both Cardinals running backs over 45 rushing yards or under. I would lean the over on both, but I don't have a bet on either of them. It's not good enough, the numbers, to actually take them. Who's looking to be under-owned today? Yeah, so in terms of leverage plays, I think Aaron Rodgers will offer some leverage, which, I mean, for this show, that's beautiful. I mean, more Aaron Rodgers, the fucking better. I do think that guys like Cobb and Aaron Jones won't be as highly owned as they should. But Aaron Rodgers, Malik Taylor, St. Brown, these guys will be under-owned today. I think that they'll be under-owned today. Who's running the deep routes for the Packers, says Kipper Khan. I think it'll be Malik Taylor, a little bit of St. Brown. That's about it. Tonyan in the middle of the field, right? That's about it. Warrior donates donates $5. He says won $2,500 the last 2 weeks. Thank you. Best channel on YouTube. I appreciate that, Warrior. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for the super chats. Appreciate that. St. Brown or Taylor for more points. Yeah, that's very close. That's obviously price really doesn't matter for those guys too much. They're both under $1,000. It's really close. They're both going to see 3 to 5 targets. They're both going to run similar routes. You're just flipping a coin. I have Taylor for more points, but they're both basically projecting out for 7 points for me. Like, there's no real difference between Taylor and St. Brown tonight. Like, that's the part of the show that you're just hoping you get lucky. They're both going to run 25 to 30 routes. They'll probably both be on the field in 3 wide receiver sets. So, yeah. Why is playing against somebody with 150 lineups harder than playing against 150 people with one lineup? Yeah, I don't know what that question is asking too much. You're still playing against 150 people, right? The reason why it's harder, or I would say that it's more difficult, is if you're playing in a large field contest and you know you're going in with your one lineup and there's 150,000 lineups and a lot of people with those 150,000 lineups are playing 150 lineup, those people are probably really fucking good. So now not only are you facing 149,999 other people, 1,000, right, other people, You're also facing all these people who have their own set of 150 lineups that you have to knock down each of them, right? You have to beat all of them with your one lineup. Not just this guy with 150, this guy with 150, this guy with 150, let alone the other one with 1v1s. So your ability to beat somebody one-on-one with their lineup is difficult enough, right? And then you factor it into a whole tournament. It's very difficult, the more people that are in there. And then you factor in your one little lineup versus these 150 people, and you're looking up at them like, yeah, I'm shot. Factoring in also that 150 people or 150 lineup players are usually better and more concentrated and have bigger bankrolls and understand what they're doing, right? Thoughts on Amari Rodgers as a value play? I prefer Malik Taylor and St. Brown. I think Rodgers will have a very small role tonight, Amari Rodgers. Zach says, who's going to pay for Sal's Uber Eats tonight? I plan on actually going out and getting it, but if somebody wants to pay for the delivery on the Uber Eats is ridiculous. Like all these car services or food services are just ridiculous. Like a poke bowl is probably $10, right? $10 somewhere around there. If I Uber Eats it, after you tip, after the service fee, it's like $23, right? It's ridiculous. I've done it like once, and I felt like the laziest person ever for not going the 5-minute drive because it's just ridiculous. Those things, I mean, I hope they give a lot. I doubt. I mean, I assume the driver and Uber is taking a lot of that money and not giving it to the restaurants. But man, I mean, it's robbery. Is Aaron Jones receiving over 39.5 today? That's a really high number. I want to say yes, but that's a really high number. Like taking a bet that Aaron Jones will score, have 40 or more receiving yards might work out for you today, but taking those types of bets long term is not good. Both tight ends in a lineup. I don't have any interest in Zach Ertz, so not for me. Am I crazy for fading Hopkins in single entry? No, I mean, there's a real chance that there's an injury there. If you're playing the quarterbacks, I think that's fine, right? Any love for Zach Ertz, or is he off your radar? I think he's the worst play in the slate. I think Ertz is the worst play in the slates. Sal, is fading Aaron Jones a bad idea? Yeah, Aaron Jones is the last guy in this slate I want to fade. It's like Kyler and Aaron Jones are the guys I don't want to fade. Like, it doesn't mean you can't play them in one lineup. It doesn't mean you can't play them in your single entry lineup. But if you're saying, like, you're playing 10 to 150 lineups and you don't want to play Aaron Jones, that might be the last guy. Can we get a quick pumpkin rub? Yeah, man. Damn, look at how you can't even look at how nasty this thing's getting. That's right. I got to put it by my face because I think the autofocus is like right here. That's autofocus is pumpkin. But look at how dirty that thing's getting. Man, it's barely gonna make it. It's barely gonna make it. It's gonna start having fucking worms coming out of that shit. Damn. Fading defenses? Yeah, basically. Why Edmonds over AJ Green, who is safe for single entry with Captain Murray? There's really not much of a reason why Edmonds over AJ Green. I have Edmonds projecting out for like a point more. They're very close. I like both of them a lot. I have similar amounts of both of them. I'll just take Edmonds in his dual positionality. Bless me. Thank you. Hey, so I'm not getting much Hopkins. You? I'm getting a good amount of Hopkins, yeah. Yeah, I've got Hopkins in... What do I have in my captain? Not that much captain. I got 44% Hopkins. Good amount. Good amount. Yes. Yes. Good amount. Oh, yeah. We're getting a good amount of Hopkins. Let's load this. Bada bing, bada bang. Timothy plays for all the Uber Eats tonight. Damn. My man Timothy, right now, let's see, donates a solid $100 Rooskies to the channel. Hit 70K Monday. Thanks, bro. Damn. My man Timothy was just walking the dog, chilling out, relaxing, maxing all cool, cooking dinner, whatever he's doing. Then he's like, oh, Sal's live. He's like, oh, I'm just going to throw $100 in here. Just casual after winning 70K. Well, Timothy's paying for all the Uber Eats for the rest of the week. We love to see it. St. Brown and Malik Taylor. Timothy, thank you. Dearly, kindly. Appreciate you. Making the night even better. Yeah, the St. Brown and Malik Taylor question is a big I don't know. It's a big I don't know. These are two guys who are not that good at football, who are going to get opportunities tonight, who are going to run 25 routes and see 3 to 5 targets. Just hope that their catch percentage is up, right? Like, there's not that much to break down here. They're both going to run routes in 2 wide receiver sets and 3 wide receiver sets. They're both not that great. Which one of them catches the extra pass? I don't know. I don't know. Like, that's where you just have to put randomness on a showdown slate, right? I like this guy's advice, but if he starts banging the pumpkins, then I'm out. Oh, man. Don't get me started. Sal got hit with the drip. The drip, yeah. Sal throws on Chase Evans tonight. We like it. Will you please answer Skater Girl about Ron Moore? I don't see the question. I don't know if the person's blocked on my end. I don't know. Oh, yeah, no. This is how we're going to answer. Skater Girl's just going to shut the fuck up, and you get blocked. 30 fucking times asking the same thing about Rondale Moore. I'm still not going to answer it now. What's the move on Prize Picks? Swag Daddy. Let's see. So Prize Picks, we added this. Well, we added an Underdog one during the stream because I actually thought there were some decent numbers. Under Amari Rodgers, 25.5 receiving yards is a lot for Amari Rodgers, who's going to run 12 routes tonight and see 2 fucking targets. We just have to hope that he's not getting these little shovel passes behind the line of scrimmage where it's like a guaranteed 5 yards. But Mercedes Lewis under receiving yards, Amari Rodgers and Chase Edmonds over 22.5 receiving yards. I have similar stuff. Well, not similar stuff. I have the Mercedes Lewis one that's similar on Prize Picks. I like Edmonds tonight. I like his over fantasy score of 10. Aaron Jones over fantasy score of 17. And I like the under as well on Mercedes Lewis over there. So I'm not like too deep into props today. It's kind of hovering around the same players. But we actually get an Amari Rodgers number over here. Let's see if they added Amari Rodgers on Prize Picks. But whether it's Prize Picks or Underdog, this is on Underdog Fantasy. They're all linked down below. This is on Prize Picks. Your first bet's matched up to $100 if you are interested. You got the Browns in the Super Bowl? Yeah, no. I mean, I don't think I got any. I don't know. I couldn't even think about a single team at this point that I think goes to the Super Bowl. What is it, like Bills, Bucks, Bills, Rams is like the highest odds. Sal, favorite type of music, genre? Probably hip-hop, R&B, rap. But I like a lot of music. I think like country music's the only one that I'm not too into. Personally, like just that I personally like go out of my way to put it on. But alternative I like, but mainly R&B, rap, hip-hop. If I had to choose one, it would probably be more of like R&B based. Thanks, dude. I fucking love it. Yeah, no problem. Rondale Moore over Kickers and Cobb. I'll take Cobb. Ertz or Goddard. Definitely Goddard. What do you think about Kirk? Yeah, it's tough to get to Christian Kirk today where he's priced, right? Like, it's like I want Chase Edmonds instead. I rather have the touchdown upside of A.J. Green on a showdown slate. So it's just tough to get to Christian Kirk. Kirk has a massive ceiling, but it's tough to get to him. It gets limited a lot. Who covers the spread? I have no bet on the spread. I would lean Packers. That's like the suckers play. Packers are already a public team, and now they're touchdown underdogs. Yeah, right? But I have no bet on this. Hey, Sal from Australia. Have you ever visited us? I have not. No. How much Cobb you got, Sal? I got a good amount of Cobb today. No Cobb captain as of right now, but I got 38% Randall Cobb. 38% Randall Cobb, which will probably be around the field, I guess. Like, I think Cobb's a fine play. Do I think Cobb is an elite play? No, I think he's a 32-year-old slot receiver that's not even playing that much this year. He's only ran above 10 routes in 2 games this year. He's going to have to tonight, you would think, but he's still just primarily a slot receiver. He's not going to be out there in 2 wide receiver sets. So if they go more 2 tight end sets, Cobb's not on the field. I think he'll be used heavily on third downs and in the red zone, which gives you upside in the red zone on a showdown slate where Rodgers will show some trust, right? Do you ever do head-to-heads? No, I personally don't play any cash games anymore. Is there a certain way to set up the optimizer for single entry and 3 entry lineups? No, not really. Just run it as you normally would. You can filter through top projected lineups, things like that, and just look through on your own right. Like, optimizers are going to take a good amount of like your own work. Like Sunday slates, it takes me about an hour to prep the optimizer the way I want with all the rules. That's before I even start to run lineups and then make adjustments. And then I look through every single one of the lineups that I build out. I delete ones that don't make sense, right? You shouldn't just blindly enter lineups without like proofreading it, right? It doesn't make too much sense. Because you might make a mistake in the optimized run, and you ran it, and it worked, and it built it all out for you. It didn't tell you, an error, so you think you got the right lineups, but you made a mistake, and now every single one of your lineups got both Packers running backs, or you don't have any amount of certain player, right? So it's always good to go through and look at them all. Why do you like Malik Taylor so much? I don't like him so much. Yeah, no. I think when we talk about these players on these showdown sites, if I talk about one for a little bit more than usual, I think that it can be very easily seen that I'm getting 100% of him. I got like 20% Malik Taylor on this slate, right? How much Malik Taylor do I have? I have 23% Malik Taylor, 22% St. Brown. The fact of the matter tonight is that Equinemius St. Brown and Malik Taylor are going to be the top 2 receivers for the Packers. No, they're not. Randall Cobb will be. Randall Cobb will be playing the slot. He'll be seeing less routes than those guys. It's as simple as that. Cobb will be more dependent on third downs in the red zone. So St. Brown and Malik Taylor are going to run on the outside today. Malik Taylor is ahead of St. Brown in the wide receiver pecking order, by the way. He only didn't play last week because of COVID. But similar skill set players, not great, taking a lot of time to develop for the Packers, not reliable, just not great, right? Don't get much separation in general. So those guys are going to run 25 routes today and see 3 to 5 targets. Maybe one of them sees 6, right? You don't know which one's going to see which. So I have Malik Taylor and St. Brown for like 7 fantasy points each. So what is 7 fantasy points tonight? It's 4 catches for 30 yards. It's 3 catches for 40 yards. Like, that's not great, but one of them is going to be good. I don't really like getting to both of them. So like putting both of those guys in the same lineup, I think you're really capping your ceiling here. Like, I think you're really capping the ceiling, right? Like, if Malik Taylor goes out there and has 5 catches for 30 yards tonight, that is a fantastic game out of a $200 player. You just hit your value play. Now hope that the other 5 guys go off. But if you also roster St. Brown and he's got 4 catches for 37 yards, which is also a good game for him, right? Both these guys just paid off their salaries, But now you have 2 guys in your showdown lineup combining for 15 points. Like, you just shot yourself in the foot. There's no upside there. So I don't really want to be playing both guys in the same lineup. Will this be a Kirk game? I have Kyler, need upside. Yeah, Christian Kirk. I mean, I'm getting all these wide receivers for this team. I'm getting 24% Kirk, 26% Rondell, and that's probably high, 32% AJ Green, and 44% Hopkins. How many touches for AJ Dillon tonight? I don't think people are talking about him enough. Yeah, I think AJ Dillon's proper ownership. I think AJ Dillon comes in around 20% ownership, maybe a little bit less. I think that's proper. I think AJ Dillon sees around 7 to 8 touches tonight. I think Kylan Hill is going to be someone involved for 10 snaps, which will steal some upside away, quote-unquote upside from Dillon. I mean, the problem with AJ Dillon is Aaron Jones is still a red zone back. Like, before the season, people thought, oh, AJ Dillon's a red zone back. That's not how this works. Aaron Jones is one of the most efficient inside the red zone and inside the 5 and 10 yard line players in the NFL. Like, AJ Dillon just being a bigger dude, they're not going to just put him in there as the goal line back, and they haven't so far this year. If it's AJ Dillon's specific drive, then yeah, he stays on the field for that drive. But it's 2 drives Aaron Jones, 1 drive AJ Dillon. And AJ Dillon fumbled last week, so we'll see how that affects things in a pretty key moment when they were just basically milking the clock away, and then they had to go back out there again and make another stand in the red zone on defense. Against the football team, things could have got a little bit wonky. Football team could have made it a 1-possession game in less than 2 minutes because of AJ Dillon's fumble, right? So I think that AJ Dillon today is, I think he's properly owned. I think he'll come in around 20% owned. Ertz Gesicki, Sal for season long. I'll go with Mike Gesicki. Gesicki's a solid play. If Devontae Parker comes back, you should expect a lower ceiling for Mike Gesicki, but I'll still take him over Ertz. Clinton says, smash the like button. I appreciate that. For sure. Can you see? Please say what the fuck is cash at one time. Yeah. What the fuck is cash? Also, if you're watching this right now, 2 seconds of your time, bang. I'd like to edit it in right now. Hit the subscribe button. We get the subscribe pillow somewhere back there maybe. And I can just point to it, right? Hit the subscribe button. I appreciate that. Let's see. I'll put the link to Patreon in here if anybody is curious about using the optimizer that was just featured in the top stacks video that came out today. If anybody watched that, let me know what you think. It's a new series that I'm going to try and roll out. 1,050. That is 1,050 members are now a part of Patreon, which is pretty fucking crazy. That's like, maybe a really small town. Like, I came from a really small town. There's still like 3,000 people in it. But 1,050. Damn. Preferred stud to fade today. Ooh, that's a tough question. So are you talking about studs as in Kyler, Aaron, Rodgers, Hopkins, or Jones, like all the guys above 8K? I don't want to fade any of them. If you forced me, gun to my head, I had to fade one of them, it would probably be Hopkins. But again, I don't want to fade him either. But it would probably be Hopkins. Like, I prefer the quarterbacks and Aaron Jones to Hopkins today. I've heard in the past that opportunity trumps talent, specifically when it comes to NFL DFS. Do you believe that can be true? I guess I don't really have a stance on that. Like, some things I have strong stances on. I don't really have a stance on that. I think that opportunity trumps talent is too narrow-minded. You do want to see opportunity. So, like, points per touch, points per opportunity is going to be a real thing. So I think it matters a lot, but like, I'm not lining up to play Peyton Barber earlier in the year because he saw 16 carries, right? Like, it's a very one-on-one thing. Like, opportunity versus talent. If you're Peyton Barber, if you're Mark Ingram, like, I'm not playing you, right? Like, early in the year, Mark Ingram had an 18-carry game and the only game that the Texans were ever going to be up this entire year. I don't have any interest in that. It's not reliable. You're not getting it through the passing game. So I'm not interested. But like Devontae Booker, I think he's a talented running back and he saw some opportunity. So I like it. So opportunity trumps talent. It depends. There's like a fine line there. Like, sure, if somebody's getting 20 touches versus somebody getting 5 touches, then yeah, take the 20 touches. But big difference. Top Stacks video was solid. Great piece of content. I appreciate that. I think I'm going to keep it going. Is there a way to do a Q&A with you like this on Sunday mornings for your Patreon members as opposed to the podcast? That would be great. Yeah, unfortunately, there's not. Because there's only one of me. So the Patreon exclusive podcast in the morning, that's what Discord is, right? Discord is you ask me questions and I'll answer them if you at me. But then we do the YouTube show live. So there's just no like other hour in there that I have time on Sunday mornings. 1,000 plus people in here, says Escobar. Hit the like button. Yeah, do it. I appreciate that. I'm going to get some food, says Escobar. Hey, get your food. Enjoy it. I'm going to get some food too because we had my man, the man that meant the legend earlier, drop in here with just a casual $100 bill, just donating to the stream. Timothy drops in after winning $70K on Monday. Lovely guy. Jimmy says, do I play AJ Green or hold off for Booker or Tony? Yeah, I'd hold off for Booker or Tony. The problem that you run into is if Saquon returns and Tony doesn't, you're kind of screwed. But I would rather play Booker or Tony over AJ Green. Yeah. Small town. I live in with 1,000 people. Damn. Are you worried about Hopkins' hamstring? Yeah, hamstrings for wide receivers are not great. So if I had to fade one of those guys above 9K, it would be Hopkins out of those 4. But I would say that Hopkins with 0 hamstrings tonight. This is stretching, of course. Doctors in the room, please put your jaw back up high. But with 0 hamstrings, I think Hopkins can just torch up the Eric Stokes and whoever else is left in this Packers secondary, right? Any notable players under 15 to 20% owned, Sal? You're not going to find much down there, no. No. Ownership guys below 15 and 20% owned? No. Below 20%, maybe Malik Taylor comes in below 20% owned. Maybe because of this news that he's like activated as of yesterday or as of today. So maybe Malik Taylor comes in under 20% owned. Let's see. I think there's a chance you get under 20% on Malik Taylor. Other than that, I don't think anybody else is worth the play. I think St. Brown comes in above 20% personally. Play Cobb tonight or wait and play Gaskin or Shepard. I'll play Cobb. I like Cobb over Gaskin. I would like Sterling Shepard over Cobb, but you don't know what's happening there. Stacks videos, good stuff, Sal. Keep them coming. I appreciate that. Do you think this could be the Aaron Jones show? Definitely could be, yes. Moore or kicker or Dillon? I'll take Rondell. Hopkins or Jones or both? Give me Jones if I had to choose one. Rodgers or Murray? Murray. Murray is the best play in the slate. Better waiver wire pickup, Bateman, Goddard, or David Johnson? Bateman. Murray is the best play on the slate. That is, without a doubt, Murray is the best play in the slate by a good amount. Yeah. So I'm sure you answered this, but Kirk or Edmonds, thanks, man. I'll lean Edmonds there. I'll lean Edmonds in his duel, his versatility. Eventually, sometime this year, on the amount of touches he's seeing, it would be a shock if he doesn't score a touchdown at some point this year. I'll take it today with a 28 implied total. Do you like Eminem? Yeah, I think Eminem's fine. I really don't listen to much of his quote-unquote newer stuff as much. Like, I'll listen to him like 1 or 2 times through the albums when they drop. But obviously, like old school Eminem, yeah. Season-long start, Cobb or Pittman this week? Pittman. Taylor as captain and rollout studs. Yeah, no interest in Taylor at captain. Nope. 0% chance. I'm not playing Taylor and captain. How do you feel about Tonyan tonight on Showdown slate now that MVS and Adams are out? Yeah, he looks good. I got 30%. Sup, Sal? We need to talk about how we stay making money on props and Patreon. Yeah, we stay making money on props and Patreon. Here's our community prop. We took this during the stream. Amari Rodgers, the rookie. 3rd-round pick out of Clemson for the Green Bay Packers. They traded up for him, by the way. Traded a pick with the Tennessee Titans. If you don't know, now you know. Under 25.5 receiving yards today. Mercedes Lewis, the captain in the locker room, brought back on a 1-year deal because Aaron Rodgers said, hey, if you don't go get my man that I love, the big dog they call him, Mercedes Lewis, to run this locker room, to make me feel at home here, to make me feel good, I'm fucking leaving. Mercedes Lewis, a part of the reason why Aaron Rodgers is there. They brought him back. This is not a lie, people, but Mercedes Lewis, a blocking tight end, under 19.5 receiving yards. We have to hope that one play action pass he catches tonight is under 19.5 receiving yards. And standing in the corner at probably 5 foot 10 pounds. 5 foot 10 inches. Holy shit, 10 pounds. That's probably the size of his what? Pause. Chase Edmonds, over 22.5 receiving yards tonight. You can secure these at UnderdogFantasy.com. Bum. Code SAL. Free bet up to $100. Boom. But yeah, we got similar bets on Prize Picks if you only have access there for some reason or whatever it might be. You should have access to both Underdog and Prize Picks and whatever other fucking sites, DraftKings, FanDuel. As many sites as you can to compare props. I like Prize Picks because they have a shit ton of fantasy point props, which is what we're taking here on over Chase Edmonds and over Aaron Jones. I love when people put the pause signs in. It literally makes me laugh. Like when I'm saying that shit and I say pause, it literally makes me go pause. Fuck. What are we getting? Are we getting a poke bowl tonight with salmon and shrimp? The shrimp at this place though fucking sucks, man. I want better shrimp. I want some juicy motherfucking shrimp. All right. I'm getting hungry. We've been live for over an hour. My man just paid for all of us right now. Paid for all of us. Everybody in here right now. Not really, just me. But everybody in here right now is getting the fucking Uber Eats. You get an Uber Eats. We're going crazy. I'm fucking hungry. God damn. I've been reading these 2 books. What do you guys think? The last lecture. Answer the fantasy question somebody said. Relax. And keep sharp. I haven't started Keep Sharp. I lied. I got to finish the last lecture. Last lecture is very, very similar to Tuesdays with Maurice and When Breath Becomes Air. Same genre of book. Always great. Hey, Sal, Chase, Kirk, Smallfield, Singletary, I'll take Chase Edmonds. Ertz are fun. Give me fun. Pause you every time. Yeah, we love to see it. Mercedes Lewis, 3 catches on 3 targets last week. Not think he'll get an uptick? Yeah, that's not how Mercedes Lewis works. Mercedes Lewis doesn't run routes. He operates out of play action passing. So can Mercedes Lewis have 20 receiving yards out of play action passing tonight on 2 catches? He surely can. But I'm trying to fade that. That's the goal here. Mercedes Lewis is not going to run a lot of routes, right? That's not Mercedes Lewis's game. He blocks. That's it. Mercedes Lewis has ran 4, 7, 10, 5, 7, and 11 routes so far this year, right? He has gone over that 19.5 number in 2 out of the 7 games. I'm going to take my chances that he does not go over there this week. He only has receptions on play action passes this year. Every single one of his receptions, which by the way, I can count on 2 hands. I was going to say 1. He currently has 10 receptions this season, right? 10 receptions this season in 7 games. Every single one is play action. Tonyan or Schultz? Give me Tonyan. What happened to the weekly betting video, says Jay Sanchez? It was replaced with a weekly player props video. The betting video preps, like I take the bets and all that, but the betting video preps, it was just like driving a nail through my head. I like doing it. Driving a nail through my head and like doing it, I guess, is different. Like I like doing it more than any other job, right? But I came up with the idea to do a top stacks video. I played it out and I said, while I was doing it, I was having way more enjoyment in doing that. And it seems that it's going to also get more viewership. So if I enjoy doing the betting or the top stacks video over the betting video, and more people are actually tuning into it, it's just an easy yes for me, right? We'll see what happens, though. Love your feed, bro. Your thoughts on using both quarterbacks tonight, says John Bryan. I actually think that that's a very good move. Good move. Aaron Rodgers, and Kyler Murray are both going to be under-owned today. What are you talking about, Sal? Kyler Murray is going to be 80% owned. Kyler Murray should be 100% owned on this slate. He never will be, right? Nobody will ever play him at 100% owned or the entire field. Kyler Murray should be in every single fucking lineup tonight. He won't be. Mercedes Lewis over 15 yards is the play of the day. Mercedes Lewis under 19.5 yards is the play of the day. Maybe we'll both be right. Bro, you're the man. Straight up, always looking out for us. Always looking out for you, June. Hey, appreciate you. What the fuck are we eating, though? Fantasy pros or footballers? I don't know what that question is. Fantasy footballers, I've heard of them. I know of them. Fantasy pros, I know Fantasy Pros does like ADP. Like I've looked at Fantasy Pros for ADP during the preseason stuff, but I don't know anything of the work that they do. I don't listen to either. I don't use either tool, so I can't give you anything. I don't know if Fantasy Pros is like 2 people or if it's like 500 people on podcasts. The footballers is what, 2 or 3 guys? Isn't it like 2 or 3 or 4 dudes, something like that? I honestly don't know. What do you think the best deal is for Patreon? I'm going to join yours at the start of next month. My man Grant B, what's up, boss man? Yeah, I mean, the best deal that I think, it depends. Do you want optimizers? If you want optimizers for all the sports that I cover on there, then the Hall of Fame package, right? If you don't want optimizers, the all sports package will be your best one. Should I try and capitalize on the Jamar Chase excitement and trade him in season long? No, he looks like a stud. After like week 3 or 4, I said you should trade him immediately. I mean, it depends what you can get. If you can get like a Stephon Diggs level player, then yeah, go for it. But otherwise, no. Like you getting Devontae Adams in this deal, you getting Stephon Diggs, Tyreek Hill, then yeah, go for it. But Jamar Chase looks like a stud. Rodgers, Cobb, Jones stack sounds good to me. Bitcoin going to the moon, says JC. No, leaving 3K on the table. That okay? Fine by me. Ertz or Font, my man. Font. Does your optimizer build lineups as well? I'm new to this shit. Is this the one you use? I don't know what you're asking there, my man, but in the top stacks video that I released earlier this morning, that is the optimizer. You can check that out. We used the optimizer in that. Yes, it builds lineups. You have to put in rules though in groups and things like that, which that video should help with. Dylan going off 100%. Alrighty, Tom. Murray or Jones for captain? Love your show. I'll figure that out in about 30 to 40 minutes. Kyler Murray or Aaron Jones are my 2 highest owned captains for my single entry main lineup tonight. I do not know who I want to use. Kyler Murray is the best captain play in the slate, but that does not mean that the rest of your lineup is the best. Is the best captain play because of his points upside. That does not mean that the rest of your lineup will then be best, right? For one main reason, and that will be because of his price tag and what it restricts you of doing elsewhere. All sports package is the GOAT. Yeah, if you don't want the optimizers, the all sports is going to give you right now NBA projections, ownership, not the optimizer, Discord, rankings, all that shit. It's going to give you MMA, MLB for these next like week while it's still going on. PGA. Do I start Aaron Rodgers with Adams out and Lazard or Kirk on Sunday Night Football? I haven't even done Sunday Night Football projections, so I can't give you that much help, to be honest. But I have Rodgers for 17 points, if that helps you. I keep moving to an Arizona route. I don't like Jones as much as I did earlier. Passing game, only thing that may be getting him over 17. I think he's on the... Yeah, I mean, Aaron Jones averages 6 targets per game when Devontae Adams is out. And now also MVS and Lazard are out. I think this is like a 7 to 8 target, 6 to 7 catch day for Aaron Jones. I love the over 17 fantasy points. Sup, Sal, you like Kyler for overall weekend slate? Yeah. Yeah, he's not my highest projected quarterback, but Kyler's current projection would be about in my top 3 or top 4. Mercedes Lewis, leverage captain, never that. Kicker as captain, never that. 1.2 people watching, only 250 likes, says CJ. The rookie numbers, let's get these up. Let's get these up, let's get these up, let's get these up. We appreciate that. Get them up. Bring them out, bring them out. My man Foghorn in the chat being all kinds of weird, but complimenting them at the same time. He says, "Oh, Sal, bro, you're the shit. I can smell it." What the fuck? How cheap would you go for an Arizona receiver? I think all four are in play. I like them. Hopkins, Green, Rondell, and Kirk are 3A, 3B. I don't have a choice on those two. Cousin Sal, favorite prize pick plays. This is the Underdog community prop. Over Chase Edmonds, under Mercedes Lewis, under Amari Rodgers. And on prize picks, we got similar shit. Chase Edmonds, fantasy points. Aaron Jones, fantasy points overs. And Mercedes Lewis, under receiving yards. A lot rides on us getting the under Mercedes Lewis. I love Mercedes Lewis. So, like, if Mercedes Lewis goes and has a catch and has 25 yards today, as somebody who loves Mercedes Lewis, one of my favorite players in the league, I would be like, fuck you taking my money, but hey, good for you at 39 years old. I think he is still fucking bossing out here as a tight end who's had to evolve his game from being one of the better pass-catching tight ends in the league a decade ago to now having to be, let's see his age, now having to be one of the better run-blocking tight ends. He is 37 years old, going to turn 38 in May. Okay, so I can't chip him up some years. Alrighty. I just subscribed to your channel because I wanted to say you are a good dude and keep up the good work. My man Tussler James, you're a good dude or female, I don't know as well, but I appreciate you. What about Mercedes Lewis? Captain on SuperDraft, I had to think a little harder on that one. No, thank you. No, thank you. Alrighty, gang. We got 1,200 people up in here. I've been live for longer than usual, an hour and 16 minutes. We're about to go. Who's better play, St. Brown or Malik Taylor, says Sean Murphy. Yeah, Sean Murphy, here's the answer to that. I don't fucking know. I have Malik Taylor and Equinemius St. Brown for 7 points each. They're each going to run 25 to 30 plus routes today. They're each going to see 3 to 5, maybe 6 targets today. I don't know which one does anything with them. They're both equally skilled. They both can't get that much separation downfield. I think Malik Taylor will see more deep shots if that makes you more enticed, but that can also just mean that he's a complete zero for you. Malik Taylor is a cheaper price point if that matters, so that would be the tiebreaker. If it doesn't, I don't really have an answer. Alrighty, gang. I'm about to bounce. We're out of here. I'll see you all in the next one. Thank you for tuning in. Final thoughts video in the morning. That one, dude, on Saturday. Sunday live streams. Appreciate it. If you're not already a Patreon member, if you're not already a part of this community, this Discord, this 1,000 plus people, you feeling left out, you should. Come join the community if you're willing and able. If you're not, don't stress yourself out personally, financially, spiritually, relationshiply, whatever the fuck that means. Appreciate y'all a ton. I'll see you when I see you in the next one. Football starts in an hour. I'm going to go get some motherfucking food. We're going to Uber Eats it here to the house because why not? That shirt is the bomb. What a perfect way to end the show, William. I think my fellow Italiano, what a perfect way to end the show. I'll see you when I see you. I'll see you in the next one. Hey, when they ask you where you got the money from tonight, where'd you get that money from tonight? In these shirts. You see this thing I got? I got a motherfucking thick-ass pumpkin ring as well now. Right? I don't know if oh my God, I thought the shadow made that pumpkin glitch. I was like, what the fuck was that? I got scared. Spooky season out here. So, when they ask you, where'd you get all those dollar whiskeys? Why are you so happy? Right? When they ask you that tonight, you say, hey, because I won some dollar whiskeys tonight. And how'd I do it? Because I know football. Football knows me. Best of luck tonight. Aaron Rodgers 100% on every slate except tonight. See you in the next one.